Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jaywalker. Today we're back down in the creepy basement here at the brick bungalow. That's right, we're back at my house. You guessed it, ghost story for a Saturday. Today, peanut butter and jelly equals Tommy, or where the heck is my bow? So today, it's more family stories, but we're branching out a little bit. Talk stories about my grandma's, incidents with my mom. Talk stories about my grandparents. Today it's from my little brother. A couple of stories from him. First one, we'll get going on now, came by way of his son, my nephew. His son's about 4 years old, and this has been just kind of a recent thing, and son has he was adopted, so there's a lot of things that probably wouldn't have been, this might not have been a bigger thing had had this been different as far as the story goes. But so my brother, his name is William Thomas, and he's went by Tommy as when we were kids. He goes by Tom now. So use that middle name is what he goes by. And just, it's probably been a week and a half or so ago, he calls me, FaceTimes me, hey, so you'll never guess what this boy said. So, and he's been going, my brother's been going by Tom. It's more of a grown-up thing to do. And he's 30. He just turned 38 years old. So he's been going by Tom for about half his life now, mostly. And so they were making a sandwich for their son. And it happened to be a peanut butter sandwich, and their son, so it's always been Tom, it's not been Tommy, as they're making the sandwich, their son just blurts out, peanut butter and jelly equals Tommy, which, just stopped my brother dead in his tracks. Because even, nobody calls him Tommy anymore. Nobody. And there was only, even up until when he was 18, 19 years old, there was only three people that we can, as we talked about, there's only three people that we could suspect would have been calling him that. And that was firstly our grandparents, who passed away a few years ago. Talked about them. And then the only other one would have been our Aunt Yolanda, who one of her sons, our cousins, very has always been really close with my brother. So that's kind of our thoughts. We don't have any evidence one way or the other, but that's kind of what we're thinking. Either our grandparents or our auntie who would have actually done that. All of whom have passed on at this point. And so that's kind of it, That's story number one. Story two, a little farther back, 2017, 2018. I know I've talked about it a little bit. It was kind of a rough year for us, death-wise. Our grandparents, my brother and I's grandparents, my wife's grandfather, my wife's mom, my stepdad, his ex-wife passed away a week after my mother-in-law, and then just probably about a week after, or a week or two, so it'd be about 2 weeks after my mother-in-law passed, my brother's nephew committed suicide. Now, to kind of back up a little bit from just prior to the suicide, to this nephew passing away. His nephew's dad, my brother's brother-in-law, came up to him and said, "Hey, we have his bow. We'd kind of just like it out of the house, safety reasons. Kind of like it out. Don't tell me you take it. Don't tell me when you take it. If you take it, yeah, we just really need it out." And it was shortly after that conversation that my brother did take that bow. And my brother's nephew was very much, very upset with the bow being gone, but because my brother Tom didn't say anything, he just took it per instructions. His brother-in-law could say, "You know what? I really have no idea where it is." Shortly after this nephew passed, my brother had gone out to the shed where he was keeping the bow, grabbed it, brought it inside, and at that moment there was another presence there with him. And this presence seemed to be very angry. And this was in between his death and the funeral. And so this presence was very angry, and they felt that it was this nephew. And they, tried to explain, but it was just angry. And my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, was like, "Just get it out, take it back out there right now." And he did, and that presence calmed down. Shortly thereafter, after the funeral, and a lot of the things got aired out, as it were. I think part of it was maybe an explanation at some point for why all this happened. And again, they had talked with the parents, "Hey, we've got the bow. If you want to come get it." As they went back out to the shed to get it, they felt that same presence, but no longer angry, no longer held up by the feelings of anger and hatred about about the bow having been taken. Again, I think it was that nephew. The bow is now, I believe, gone, and there's been no more issues with the presence, at least like that. So those are the stories today. Let me know what you think. Have you ever had anything like that? If you had, a youngster or someone else say something about you, to you, that they shouldn't know, yeah, let me know. Have you ever had just something like that attached to an item that you have, a presence, anything that you have? Let me know. Thanks for joining me today on the Jaywalker. Join me again for the next ghost story, the next cemetery story. Got some good stuff coming up. See you soon.